Okay, pianist, today we're looking at how to do arpeggios for all of the white keys on the piano. These will be the major keys: C, D, E major, F, G, A, B major. So there's a certain set of rules. If you know these rules, you can play all of the arpeggios with the correct fingering. It's mostly what we're looking at. So for the right hand, the good news is the rule is very short and simple. We're going to do, for example, the C arpeggio. It's going to be 1, 2, 3. Now, if you put a pinky on that top C, we can only do a 1-octave arpeggio. So since I'm interested today in sharing a 2-octave arpeggio, I will turn the hand and put a 1 on the next highest C so I can continue up. The 5th finger comes when I want to stop, and that ends that 2nd octave. So the fingering is 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 5. That's the only fingering you need to know. So as you go up, let's say we do E. So here's my E chord, E, G sharp, and B. I'll use that same fingering. 1, 2, 3. Thumb turns to E, G sharp, B. Pinky stops here. And then I simply walk down the same fingers that I used on the way up. 3, 2, 1. Well, what about the key of B? It's a little thorny, some people say. There's 2 sharps on the top. For the right hand, that's not going to bother us at all. We can still use 1, 2 on D sharp, 3 on F sharp, and continue forward as we always have. So all of the keys from C through B, we'll use that fingering 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 5. Now, about the left hand, there are 2 fingering patterns that you need to be aware of. The first is if you take a arpeggio, so if I'm looking at the C arpeggio, and notice the C chord has no sharps or flats. It's all white keys. So for this arpeggio, we're going to use 5, 4 on the middle, 2, and 1. I'm going to take it down 1 more octave, and then we'll do a 2-octave arpeggio. Thumb, cross your 4, we start it again, 2, 1. 2nd finger, 4th finger on E, turn the thumb under, 2nd finger, 4th finger, and finally a nice sturdy pinky down there. Okay, so any arpeggio or any chord that has no black keys present, that fingering would be 5, 4, 2, 1. So let's think together. What would be another arpeggio with no sharps in the chord? Well, how about F? So the F chord is F, A, C. If we open our hand to make it an arpeggio, we'd use that same fingering. 1, crossing over the 4, 2, 1, 2, 4, turn the hand, 2, 4, and ending with the 5. This also works for the key of G, G, B, and D. So the rule is any arpeggio that has no black keys, use 5, 4, 2, 1, the 4th finger I'm emphasizing. If you have on the other end of the spectrum a chord with the sharp in the middle, so it's kind of a little mountain peak in the middle of that chord, such as D, F sharp, A, the fingering is going to be 5, 3, 2, 1. The only thing that changed was I did not use the 4th finger, I used the 3rd. If you look at the hand, the 3rd finger is the longest of all the fingers of your hand, so therefore the idea is it is easier to reach the sharp. You can make it work with the 4th finger, it just is a mite uncomfortable for most of us. Okay, so let's walk through that. 5, 3 on the sharp, 2, 1, crossover, 3, 2, and coming back down. Here's a 3 on the sharp, turn, thumb on D, 2nd finger A, 3rd finger on the sharp, and we're back home. This also works for E major. There's your sharp in the middle. We've already done F with the 4th finger and G with the 4th finger, but what about A? There it is, 5, 3, and B major falls in that same category even though there are 2 sharps. We will still use 5, 3, 2, 1. So the left hand is always a 5, always a 2, always a 1. The question mark is, do we use a 3 or a 4? And that is answered by how the chord is structured. All right, I hope that gives you some help. Those are the arpeggios for all major white keys.